China is a communist dictatorship, to state the obvious. On top of that, they are repeat human rights abusers who have slaves in Xinjiang, who are being genocided as of now, and have all sorts of problems with authoritarianism, and are the most authoritarian COVID state. After all, they are the progenitors of the pants-on-head strategy of lockdownerism. And so, everyone has completely ignored this in favor of really wanting to go to the Olympics. You see, the Olympics are being held in Beijing this year for the Winter Games, and they are going to be starting at the beginning of February, which I suggest you do not watch, you do not support in any way, because, well, China doesn't deserve your support. They are continually scandalized with their authoritarianism, and the very fact that they are a communist dictatorship should preclude you from supporting them in any way if you can avoid it. And when it comes to the Olympics, you can avoid it. And it's not even as though we're talking about a place where it's just the Olympics. Oh, there's no political aspect to this. That is not true, because China disagrees with you. They have had many a scandal about the Olympics, most importantly being the doping that they have been both accused of and shown to have done over the past couple of decades, of which there is even more details coming out, harrowing details about the sorts of things they do to athletes, having athletes be impregnated and then abort the baby in order to get a slight competitive edge or to cause false positives, and other such harrowing stories are being shown to the public just before the Olympics. And on top of that, China is a state that you cannot trust with these sorts of diplomatic relations on any level, because they send spies all over the place. And yeah, everyone sends spies, and I'm sure America has as much spies in China as China does in America. But it's worth it to mention that when your states are that hostile, maybe you shouldn't interact so much. And so, it has actually been revealed in just the past couple of days that a Chinese spy has infiltrated the UK Parliament, of all places. Something that might have seemed absurd to many people before, MI5 started coming out and saying it outright and sending letters to the Parliament to warn them about this particular person, but shouldn't be at all surprising to people who know their history, because you see, China aren't the first communist dictatorship who America and the rest of the Western powers have danced around interacting with for decades on end without ever actually dealing with the problem. You see, the first country to go undergo this particular treatment is actually Russia, who also had massive amounts of spies and things going on in the U.S. government and all other sorts of places. Blacklisted by history if you want to check out a book on that particular subject. But anyway, to get to the modern sort of thing, China does not deserve your support. Just to reiterate, they cannot be trusted. They are going to spy you, and they have been, and many, both US and UK athletes, have been warned to use burner phones and discard their phones at home and not bring them to China in order to avoid these spying schemes, because it's that prolific in China. They have a whole cottage industry of spying, not just on foreign actors, but on their own people. It shouldn't be surprising that they are not to be trusted with any information, and they're going to get a substantial amount in the Olympics, on top of whatever glory they can gain through their doping athletes winning gold medals in suspicious circumstances. China simply can't be trusted, and on top of that, they are more than willing to take U.S. citizens and trap them in their borders whenever they so please, whether it be for coronavirus restrictions or just the fact that they're expats from China who went to America or have some sort of Chinese heritage but don't actually have any Chinese citizenship to begin with. They will still stop them at the border and prevent them from going back to the country that they have citizenship in, namely the U.S. These problems need to be dealt with, of course, and the best way to do that from a EU perspective, as opposed to the U.S. government, the best thing to do, of course, would be for Biden to grow a spine, but I'm not hoping for that to happen. I might not be black-pilled, but I'm not crazy. The best thing for you to do is simply to stop interacting with it. do not watch the Olympics this year. I know some people might have a problem with this. They watch the Olympics every year. It's not going to affect me, certainly, because I barely watch the Olympics no matter what's going on, other than a bit of volleyball. But that's not even relevant here because that's mostly summer game stuff. But hey, you should still not do it because, well, China's such a bad country. Like, it's worth the sacrifice. And that's where I'm going to have to leave you guys off. If you enjoyed that video, do subscribe down below and check me out on other platforms. I'm on BitChute, I'm on Odyssey, I'm on Rumble, I'm on Brighteon, I'm on all those places. I'm also on Gab, Minds, and Getter. If you want to check out all those links, they are down in the description. I suggest you go check them out. I'm KelKidman. This has been Breaking on the Daily. Don't be a square.